No. Okay, so me being a goofball aside, today is going to be a slightly-ish long video where I'm going to be reviewing this bad boy right here, the Carli Bybel palette. I'm going to do a little review for it, then I'm going to do swatches for you, and then I also have a quick little tutorial on the look that I've got on my face today. It's a super simple look, but it's just so you can see how the shadows work in action. Without further ado, let's get into this bad boy. First off, packaging. I know with the lights it makes it kind of hard to see it, but we have a white packaging and it looks like either a pillow. You see it a lot on sofas where it's that material and then it has like a pincushion that goes in to create darts. I don't know the technical name for it, but that's what the packaging on the outside looks like. In a like rose gold metallic, you have Carli Bybel right here, and then BH Cosmetics up here. It says deluxe edition right here. Mine is a new palette, but it wore off on mine. And then it just says 21 color eyeshadow and highlight palette. Total net weight is 1.06 ounces or 30 grams. The back just says the same stuff, has all the same information. And this is a cruelty-free product. Now let's open it up. And when you open it up on the inside, you've got, you're gonna be blinded by my ugly room. You've got a mirror and then your shadows and highlighters down here. It looks like marble, which is really pretty, I think. It has like a nice clean look to it, but since it kind of has that marbly effect to it, it won't look as dirty as like a plain white palette would. And it has a cute little quote on her that says, aspire to inspire. Not a quote from her, but you know what I mean, a quote she put in here. I think that's really cute. You've then got 15 eyeshadows up here, so 3 rows of 5, and then we've got 6 highlighters. As you can kind of see, the overall is a very like peachy, there's lots of peaches, lots of plums, lots of pinks, but the one thing that I like about this is that while it's warm, it's not warm in like a red or like orange sense, and it does have some neutrals in it as well. There's a really pretty neutral color right down here. This color is a bit neutral as well, so while it is warm, I think it's a bit more on the like warm neutral side. It's not just straight smoky super warm tones in your face. So I think the color arrangement is really pretty. You'll see in these swatches, but most of the shimmer shades have like a gold reflect to them. So I would say that all the shimmers definitely reflect with like a warm quality to them. And some of my favorite colors are, there's this really pretty dusky rose right here. I like the plum color. I love this color right here, which is probably the coolest one in the palette. But overall, it's just a really pretty palette where you can do a bunch of different things with it. The highlighters down here, I can most definitely use these two for my skin tone. These two, I need to play around with them a bit more to see if they'll work or not. These two will definitely be too dark for me, so I think the nice thing is there's something for everyone in this palette. And also on the BH Cosmetics website, I believe, there is swatches on a light and darker skin tone, so you can see kind of how it looks on everyone. I need to compare it to the other BH Cosmetic palettes that I got, but the formula for these is amazing. The mattes as well as the shimmers just have this super smooth, our favorite word, buttery quality to them. But then also on the eye, they blend out like a dream. They're pigmented, but not, I don't want to say overly pigmented because I like really pigmented shadows. They're easy to work with though. They're very easy to work with. The shimmers, I think that they work quite well. You could definitely wet them if you wanted to get like that extra like punch. But for the look on my eyes today, I didn't wet them because I just wanted to kind of go and see them as were, and I still thought that it performed nicely. So yeah, they're kind of everything you'd want for. They're blendable. They work great. The highlighters, I like them, as you can kind of see in the pan and on my cheek. They definitely, if you want like a blinding glow, which I know is really popular, I think these can definitely give them for you. For me personally, I like a bit more of a natural glow, and even with that said, if you go in with a light hand, I think it can give you a very pretty highlight. You'll see in the tutorial section kind of, if you're interested, how I apply my highlight to get it so it's still a highlight but a bit more of a natural one. But the formula for the highlights is great as well. The only thing I could say is they don't blend in as smoothly as some of the other ones that I have. But yeah, so this really is a phenomenal palette. The packaging is great, it's compact, this would be really easy to travel with. Price for it is $22.50. I know that Ulta has it, and I think that's kind of it. It gets two thumbs way up though as far as everything goes, because it is a great palette. As far as the color selection, to be honest, it's not, they're very pretty colors, but I think as you can see, nothing mind-breaking or mind-blowing. It's nothing mind-blowing or nothing incredibly new. It would have been nice maybe if she had put in a couple pops of color. I wouldn't argue with that, but I will give her this. One of the issues I personally have with Morphe is you'll get a palette of like 25, 35, whatever amount of shadows, and there's a lot of like repeat colors or colors that are so similar. They're pretty much repeat colors. And while these are all neutrals, they're all very distinct neutrals. None of these I would say are too similar in color or anything like that. So I do think you're getting your money's worth as far as that goes. $22.50 I think is a good price for it. And yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say about it. But I really enjoyed it. Super easy, great quality. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into these swatches. Okay, so I apologize. I turned the light down on my camera because I think you can see these a bit better. But I already swatched the first row. So this is the light peach color. I swatched the first row going from left to right. So that's all of these guys. And I'll go ahead and swatch the next row for you. It has a really pretty champagne-y color. Sorry, I keep on trying to get my camera to focus too. I'm like, focus on my arm camera, not on my face. But we have this really pretty champagne color. Then next to it, a nice, really neutral brown for transition. Then below that is like a nice kind of dusky rose color. And then next to that is what I have on my lids actually. And it's kind of just a nice cool tone gold almost. And then the next one is the dark plum color. Sorry, I know these swatches are kind of ungodly awful, but I do promise. And for my swatches too, if you're wondering, I literally just do one swipe and then I swipe it on my hand, so that's why they're not crazy stupid pigmented, but I still think you can accurately see that these are very well pigmented. And the shimmers are a little bit harder to see because they're lighter, but that's the first two rows. Zoom back out for you. There you go. Okay, moving on to the next arm. So then on the last row for the eyeshadows, we've got, you're not going to be able to see it on camera because that's like the skin tone color for me. And then next to it is a very light shimmery brown as well. I know these are a bit harder to see with my skin tone. I think that helps a little bit. And then you've got next to that a bit of a lighter brown and then a kind of shimmery, slightly copper brown. And then the last one in that row is kind of, this is one of my favorite colors actually in the whole palette. Kind of that cool toned gray brown almost. And that is it for the actual shadows. For the highlight, I'm just gonna do them on the back of my hand. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but it's just easier and I think you'll still be able to see it. So the first two colors is I'm gonna do these two big ones right here. And this is the pinky one, which is very pretty. And then underneath that we've got, these are actually, I think I could use the pink toned one on me. I think the brown, if you're I have also have red in my skin, I think the gold one may be a little too dark, but those are the two big highlighters in the palette, and those are both quite pretty. The two fair ones, so these right here, I'm gonna do those. This is the white one. Oh wow. So that looks crazy pigmented. It's what I have on my face though, so you can make it more subtle. And then this is the pink one. like I said, all of these to me I think are beautiful. I think she did a really nice job with the highlight, and you get a nice variety of all wearable highlights, but all very different tones and very different in their own way. And then the last two we're gonna have right here are these two highlights. And this is the more goldeny one that's a bit lighter. You can see it has almost a bit of a copper to it, and then the darkest brown of them, which really has a kind of a copper tone to it. So yep, these are all of the highlights. But I think a lot of people will be able to get a lot of good use out of this guy. And let us get into the makeup tutorial. Okay, so the first thing, we're just going to go in with some primer. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer today, and just go ahead and prime your eyes and then set it with a skin colored powder. And the color that I'm going to use today to set is this color right here in the bottom. The only issue that I have with it is that it's a little bit too yellow for me. I personally like a color that's a bit more neutral, because if you are as fair as me, or just depending on, you know, your skin tone, when you're setting your eyeshadow base with a color that has kind of a yellow tint to it, I don't think it looks the best. It's not something that's crazy noticeable, but it's not my favorite thing. So I wish that this did have kind of a lighter color in the whole palette, because this is the lightest color, and this is the lightest color, and it actually looks a bit darker in real life than it does on the screen. I am going to go in and do a quick little transition color just on a fluffy blending brush. This is one I got from Rite Aid, nothing special. And I'm going to go in, let's see what color. I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna go in with this color right here. Just kind of one of the more neutral colors. And one thing that I do have to say, just kind of off the bat from using this, is that they are pigmented and they blend out really easily, but there's a lot of kickback with these eyeshadows. So I know some people care about that and some people don't, but I will say that there's a lot of kickback. And so with this color, I'm just putting in a basic transition, you know, just a basic transition color in the crease. Nothing special. But it is a very pretty color. It's kind of a nice, you know, you're nice neutral. I like it because it's not super warm toned. Okay, and now that we have the transition color in, I'm sorry I'm not saying the names of the colors. I don't think they actually have names, so that's why I'm just gonna point, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm using. But now that we have the transition color, I'm going to go in with a bit of a denser, still fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to go in with kind of this, this pretty taupey color in the bottom corner right here. And I'm going to focus this more on the outside V right here, as you can see. And I'm going to keep it lower, so I'm sticking kind of to the crease line and not like right here, and then not really blending too much higher than that. Okay, and these eyeshadows are blending really, really nicely, super easily. And like I said, I know we're doing a simple look, but I think a simple look sometimes makes it easy just to kind of see the basics of things. And now that we have got that darker color in the outer corner, I'm going to add a little bit of purple, and I'm going to go in on kind of a little fluffy pencil brush. I'm going to go in with this purple color right here. Just kind of playing around and taking it as it goes. And I'm going to keep that even lower than the last color, so as you can tell, we're kind of doing a step down in colors to keep it nice and blended. And I'm literally just going to bring it down and then do that outer little V with it, and just to kind of add some depth and dimension to the look. Our favorite colors: blend, depth, dimension. And now that we have got that purple, I'm going to go in with the first fluffy brush that I used, not putting any product onto it, but just very, very gently buffing out those edges, and then just kind of blending everything in together. This is kind of a simple everyday go-to look, I guess, for me sometimes. And now I'm going to do one of these shimmers on the eyeballs. Just going to go in with a flat shader brush. And what color? I think I'm going to try this color right here next to the dark purple one I just used. See how this bad boys works. And I am not foiling it, I'm just going in with a dry brush. It's almost giving, I like how like a shimmer can almost give you that, you know, wet eyelid look. Okay, and then now that the shimmer is on, I'm going to go in with that tiny pencil brush, and I am going to just blend our darker colors into that shimmer really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and do my face makeup off camera. I don't think you need to see that because there's a lot in this video already. So I'm going to do my face makeup really quickly, and then I will come back and finish the eye makeup with this palette and yeah, wrap up the final thoughts. I'll be back in just a second. Okie dokie, so now that my face makeup is on, I am, well, except I didn't do my lipstick, because I always do that last. And I didn't do highlighter because I want to finish the lower part of my eyes with the palette as well as use the highlighter, since it comes with, well, it comes with a lot of highlighter. But to really just quickly finish the eye look, I am going to go in with a brush if I can find it. Here we go. I'm going to go in with a small little fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with this color right here, and I'm just going to connect the color on the outside of the V. And this is a bit of a dramatic smoky under eye, but I honestly like to do that a lot though. And I'm going to stop it about right here, so I'm only going to bring it in the color about right here. And I'm more just placing the color and connecting it to the outer V. I'm not going to blend it out with this brush. I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush in a really light color that we originally used when we were doing the top eye look. So just kind of place the product right there. And then on the tiny little small brush that we used, I'm going to go in with the purple color that we used on top. So mimicking the colors that we used on top. And I'm just going to do the same thing, but in a smaller amount. I'm going to connect this V right here up with the top. Just kind of gently blending and placing it. And then to finish it up, I'm going to go back in. I know this is like a big brush to use on the lower lash line for some people. Depends on the look you're doing. But I'm going to go in with this fluffy brush and then back with this color that I used to set everything on top. I'm just going to go in with the tiniest bit, and just to kind of lighten and clean it up, I'm just going to do that. And that completes the eyeshadow look. Really quickly, I'm going to go in and do my waterline with the Marc Jacobs, what is it called? It's the one that's around everywhere that works really well. Anyways, with the expensive but really, really good Marc Jacobs eyeliner. Once our waterline is done, mascara. So we're just going to highlight the cheeks, put on lipstick, and then I don't know where my train of thought was going with that. But we're just going to finish this look up, put on a highlight, and finish the lips, and then we'll be done. And to use this, kind of the two only highlights I really can use on my skin tone are these two. And I'm going to go and use this white one right here. I'm only going to do one dab because I cheated and I've used this palette before. And I learned that these highlighters are very pigmented. They're really pretty and really pigmented. And then once I put highlighter on, I go in with my beauty blender, and what I like to do is kind of push it into my foundation and mix it with my blush, just for a little bit more of that natural feel that we all love. And that is pretty much done. Now all we need to do is put on a lipstick. This kind of look though, honestly, goes well with any lip that you want. I like doing a nice soft kind of natural lip though with something like this, and voila, this is our final look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked kind of having this little tutorial as well as the swatches and the palette review. Final thoughts for it though, the Carli Bybel BH Cosmetics. I would say I really like this. It's blendable, they're pigmented, the highlighters are such a personal thing. I like them. I blend them out a little bit more than other people, but if you want a blinding glow, you can totally get that with these highlighters. It'll definitely give it to you. I would definitely recommend it if you like the palette, or if you're a collector. I think it's a pretty collectible piece with the packaging, and the product is actually really good in it. So I do not think I have anything else to say about it, but this one definitely gets a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a good day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I hope to see you in the next video. Mwah! Goodbye!